Okay, so that's like you wanted to say something about intimacy, like how do again, it's not body no be firewood. It's not ice cream that's flowing through my veins.
Yeah, we got it. We got the message.
I don't know if I'm very qualified.
Tata, do you want some cookies?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I do. So I don't know if I'm qualified, enough to talk about this, but I would only talk about what works for me as a person. Yes, my kind of person. Like you said, I don't have ice cream flowing through my veins. So I have times when I feel a certain kind of way, and I have over time realized that certain things work for me. If I'm alone, I will feel a certain kind of way, especially if we're going to be frank, at certain times.
Weather,
certain times of the month and things like that. So if I know that this is going to come at certain time and all of that, I get ready. I'm around people a lot. Yes, I get busy. I'm around people a lot. I take on extra projects. Believe you me, if you close from work at 9 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. and struggle through Lagos traffic, my dear, when you get to the house, you would barely be able to take your bath before you fall into your bed. And before you know it, it's the next day, and it's the next day, and it's the next day. Yeah. So keep yourself busy. Moving. Yes, do things that you like to do. Occupy yourself. If you, I listened to a message recently where I can't remember which pastor said it. I think it was Apostle Salmon, and he said there are certain things that are not going to work, are not going to permit a kind of atmosphere around you. You're not going to sit down with the man and expect that nothing will happen, especially if you're attracted to yourself. So give an example. From every appearance. So he said,
flee, right?
Yeah, he also said, if you're playing Domwen, there's some kind of thoughts that will not run through. It was funny, the whole
I never
church
thought
laughed.
about that.
The whole church laughed, but it's true. It made sense. He said, you're laughing now, but go and try it. So you create a certain atmosphere around you, especially when you're getting weak, and that will help. I mean, God helps all of us, So if He sees you're making the effort, He's going to do His part.
I also believe in guard your heart, or the things you view as well. So you have to be careful, so that your mind doesn't have anything to work with. Do you understand? So you're mindful of the kind of movies you watch. You're mindful of the kind of people you hang out with, because
what you fill your heart with,
talk about can also influence you or make you feel funny. Because the truth is, as well, when you're waiting as a Christian, it's not the same as when you're waiting in the world. And not everybody's going to understand your perspective, right? So you need to surround yourself with people who understand you and who can encourage you. So when you're weak, you have a friend to call who can actually encourage you in the Lord, as opposed to telling you, well, what's
That's true. That's very true. Right. For me personally, I think my major pet peeve would not necessarily be, yes, the waiting is difficult, but my major issue is the way singles are perceived in the society. Especially after a certain age, Especially women. Maybe I should be saying single women, because men do not seem to have the same problems.
No, they don't.
That pressure is not on them.
Man can marry at any time.
The pressure is not.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to have, he doesn't carry the kids.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the biological
clock
ticking.
Yeah.
And all of that.
Yeah, but even at that, so when you pressure a woman, what are you expecting her to do? That's my thought.
Take all your savings and go shop and buy.
Man, I don't get it.
Package anybody.
I had someone tell me recently, I don't know, maybe you're being too selective. You should just get a man and take 40% and go. And
would it be with him at night? Is he?
That's what she told me.
What is too low? I would say.
She says that a lot of marriages are managing and people cover up.
I don't believe that.
That's what she says, and I don't care if a lot of marriages are managing and people are covering up. I didn't wait this long to get into marriage and manage.
Yeah, so you shouldn't manage.
Remember the pastor that said, so that when he comes to lie down beside you, you don't have to start feeling the blood of Jesus. Exactly. No, seriously, let's be real. These are honest conversations, because I feel like sometimes also there's a doctrine doctrine, but there's a mindset,
a
concept of following the will of God, as if God is not also mindful of your desires. You know what I mean? So I know that God, like a lot of our desires are not founded on the right things. But I also know God is a good God.
I definitely.
So I want to believe that whoever it is that God is sending, at least there will be a connection.
There will definitely be.
Because it's marriage, it's not friendship.
And it's not for one day.
People don't talk about that. Don't talk about that part. Everybody's like, go find a godly man, and I'm like, I'm find a godly man, but don't I need to be attracted to this person?
You should be.
And someone say,
very important.
Yeah.
No canal.
No.
Canality.
If the guy touches me like this, I'm like,
Even if you're not repulsed, if you don't feel anything, I don't think there's any future there.
Yeah.
It should.
Deception.
I think you should be excited at the thought. So it's not something you want to go in and manage. No.
Someone you love seeing, someone you love speaking to. You could just have a friend.
Okay.
A friend that you connect with on various levels, because sometimes it can't always be that way.
Yeah.
The initial time, the honeymoon time, school and all. When the real stuff comes, you have to. You just find something, and sometimes it's boring. Like, I've been seeing this person every day, this, that, but
seriously,
you just have to spice things up, think of things to do, fun things to do, go out, do just crazy things. And for me, I don't believe in all this spirikoko. Yes, spirikoko, but if I'm married, explore.
Pretty baby.
Priscilla.
But she's making a good point.
Okay, so there's another thing I really, I'm curious about dating, courting in the Christian world. Are you allowed to kiss, hold hands? Nobody has really answered that question. And I asked,
Nobody will.
That's your Bible by yourself.
Search the scriptures. Well, you hear in the scripture like, Jesus Christ kissed his forehead. They kissed his forehead, but guys, let's really talk about it. Are we allowed to? Is it okay? Is there a limit that I can go like, okay, yes, we're not being intimate 100%, but can you kiss? Peck, maybe? Peck is just mwah. And you can see all of them.
I'm waiting for you to finish talking because I have something on my mind.
I'm done. I don't do water drop cup.
So it is not a straightforward question. Again, I would look at it from different contexts. So first of all, I'd say, depending on what church you go to, there are church doctrines. Yes, a lot of churches have various doctrines, depending on how liberal they could be. I'm pretty sure there will be some churches that would say, kissing is allowed. And I do know that there's some churches that, according to their doctrine, kissing is not allowed. Yes. But aside of doctrine and aside of what is in the Bible, again, I'm not a pastor, and I don't think I'm very qualified to give a definite answer on this.
Sure.
But I will tell you what I think. What I think is, you as a person, you as a spirit-filled being, a human being, you will know when you are crossing the line.
Very true.
If you are true to yourself, you would know. If excitement or whatever will not allow you to, will not cloud your emotions or make you lie to yourself. As a person, you will know, I just crossed the line. Your feelings will tell you.
Definitely.
You will. I don't know how else to explain it, but in your heart of hearts, there's something that will convict you and say, this shouldn't have happened. No matter how ordinary or innocent it may seem.
Yeah, it seems right.
Maybe someone looking at you could say, nothing happened, but in your heart, you know that this shouldn't have happened. So I would say you should listen to yourself. I don't know what the pastor would say. Maybe we'll get the opinion of the pastor on that, but on your own, I think it's something you need to listen to
your personal conscience.
Your conscience.
Yeah, your conscience. Makes sense, actually. And I think it also depends on the intent or, what is in your heart. Because God sees the heart. You know what I mean? So when you're kissing, aren't you getting a bit intimate before time? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about the pet, I'm talking about like
kissing,
proper kissing. So you also want to be mindful of what you are doing at that point. Just even to protect yourself.
And again, the other person, you guys need to be on the same page. Because sometimes, you get to say, oh, I want this for myself. Is the other person thinking this way? Or is he just waiting for a slight opportunity for, for you guys to be alone, and then something happens and he say, oh, baby, sorry. So is the other person thinking the same way as you? Because it's easier for both of you. It's easier when both of you are on the same page to fight temptation than when it's just one-sided.
I think that would be something that you would discuss at the beginning of the relationship.
Exactly.
You would have agreed, both of you, that this is
exactly what we need to do, what we shouldn't do, what we shouldn't even think about, and what's the deal breaker for me. If you cross this one and repeatedly, it means
very interesting. Exactly. You guys have spoken well, but my own is carry me they go. Carry me they go to my husband's house.
Definitely,
You will get there. Don't worry.
Yes. So I think we would also
by God's grace.
Amen. Amen.